What's good? What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Norris back again. We back. This is Souls of Thought, but on Wednesdays we switch over to grown folks business. We got my boy D in the building. How you doing, D?
I'm good. How about you guys, man? Glad to be here today.
Good, good, man. And we got our boy Classic, man. We finally got him. We finally got him. It's gonna be a good one
Yeah,
tonight. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be a good
yeah,
one
yeah.
tonight. We got some more of the family gonna be tapping in. Plug will be in here in just a second, but we like to respect our people's time. So, how was y'all boys' weekend, man? Y'all did anything good for the Memorial weekend, long weekend?
Nah, man, I'm getting ready because this weekend we head out to Disney for a week,
Okay,
so we'll have fun when I'm out there, man. I can't wait.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was just creating content, bro. Yeah.
Good,
I
good,
was
man.
locked in.
I
Yep, I
know
was
it's
locked
good,
in.
man.
Yep.
And for y'all who don't know, man, this is class. Introduce yourself, man. Like for the people who don't know you on this side of the YouTube stratosphere, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yo, I'm classic with the classic codes. That's my slogan. That's my channel, the classic codes. Make sure y'all tap in with me on YouTube. I pretty much run a sociology channel. So I talk about pretty much the social climate, where everything is. I do it very honestly and I ask a lot of questions. So it's all about engagement and interaction on my side. So y'all make sure y'all come tap in with me so we could crack these codes.
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
man. Again, we appreciate you coming up, man, taking your time out. Time is valuable, so we appreciate you taking your time out, man.
For
All right,
sure.
man. We're gonna go ahead and get started, man. We ain't gonna waste time tonight because I'm sure once we get plugged in here, we're gonna keep going. So let's get it, man. Um, Classic, I sent you some of his stuff, man. I don't know if you got a chance to go check them out yet, but we're
Yeah.
gonna start off, man, with the first topic of the night, man. The question is, are men the problem, man? And I guess you got three of us right here, so we'll be able to try to cipher through this and answer these questions. So let's see what my boy got to say here.
Women are right to say it's all men till it's no men. I don't understand why dudes be getting offended at that. You know just how bad men have been throughout history and how men are today. But somehow when a woman says it's all men till it's no men, you find offense. It's not all men. Shut up. Understand what she's saying, bro. She gotta walk outside and look over her shoulders every day as a woman. Men, we don't do that. We don't. As a matter of fact, you are not afraid of a woman doing something to you. You're not. But who you will look out for is another man. Matter of fact, when y'all give advice to women, y'all always give advice to what? What to watch for in men. When that is literally admitting that men are the problem as a collective group. Throughout society, throughout history, today in today's time, men are the problem. That's why when y'all be doing this whole both sides argument, bro, it's harm happening on both sides. Not to the same extent. It's never gonna be the same. It's never gonna add up. Never. And then it'd be funny when the dudes be trying to justify it. Well, testosterone is what make men violent. Just dumb talking points, bro. Come on now, y'all gotta stop trying to gaslight these women, bro. Men are the problem. That's why when we as men be talking about accountability towards women, bro, leave the women alone. Start focusing more on men, because men are the overwhelming majority of the problem. 9 times out of 10 times. Start with the men, bro. The men is who need to be taking accountability. You need to start with the men. Stop starting with the lesser of two evils and address the majority, because men are the majority of the problems in society. Point blank, period. You can get mad at all you want.
All right, man. All right, man. Y'all heard him there, man. So what is y'all thoughts, man? Whoever want to go first, go first. You know, I want to hear everybody's thoughts on this today.
Hey, I ain't nobody's hater, bro. Get your bag, man. It's a lot of money over there on the pandering side. You know what I'm saying? It's a big check over there on that pandering side, man. Get your bread, bro. he know he full of it. Hey, hold on. Show me a time in human history where women have had more choice and more voice than ever than now. Show me a time in human history where they had more say so than now. Okay, so the more so with the results we have now, we can say, giving y'all all this liberty y'all wanted. This is where it landed us. Black men gayer than ever. Yeah, let's get into it. You got women masculine as hell and lonely. Yeah, crashing out on the internet every day. Y'all got liberation though. You got all these decisions making bad ones, left and right and left. And hey, if I'm wrong, show me some results that say I'm wrong. Show me the numbers. Show me the numbers. All these single mother households, and then they say, well, black men's attendance in college is down. Is there a correlation? Let's talk about it.
Okay. What you got, D? What you got, D? Let me see it. There you go. I got you. You good?
Yeah, so I'll say on multiple different fronts, man. I agree with Classic in the aspect that these women nowadays look for a man financially. They're no longer looking for love, bro. That's this real talk. And that's in this age. And like he said before, they have a lot more freedom than what they once had. Everything was all good and said done. It was the man's fault at the beginning of time because we control pretty much everything. They didn't really have the freedoms that they currently have now. And now as we move to this new age, he hit it dead on the head. My man over there just pandering to get the likes and the women to be under his comments. But if you really stop and think about it, it's an equal thing. It's just as many men that's harmful as just as many women that's harmful from growing up only watching their mother go through men after men after men after men, and then portraying that same thing onto the men that come into their lives. And it's just as many men who grow up in a single family home watching their mother lead them down a wrongful path as well, but they go continue to say it's the man. Don't get me wrong. We have our faults in the aspect that sometimes we're not there as a father, but for people like me, you, Classic, I don't know if you have children, but we're there for our kids. So that can't always be the narrative that the men are always the start of the problem. So that's what I have.
I agree. Y'all know how, well, I know D know how I feel. I tell people all the time, man, this is a conversation that will never end, especially in the Black community, because as Classic, I think you set it up perfectly today. That's why I be tapping in with Classic, because he actually be talking about stuff that a lot of people don't think about. Like today, I don't know if you care if I jump on it, Classic. Today, Classic went back and said, how was women 50 years ago? Like, if you think about a male gender and then the female gender, who has changed, or who technically not even changed, who compromised the most in the past 50 years? It's been men. Men, because you think about it, pandering, that's what pandering really is. You compromising for the other gender to make them feel good, to hoping it's going to open up your choices. I know that gentleman who spoke, he's married, so I'm sure he's speaking more to that because he's married at this time. But with that being said, man, I think men have been the ones who have compromised the most. And I think that's where the problem started. If you want to say men are a problem, the problem is because we have compromised and we've been compromised. And I think that's the biggest issue. And let me pull up. Justin said, Black men don't want college. How? Are there more entrepreneurs today? I'm assuming he's saying there's still a lot of Black men that are in college, enrolled in college. And correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, if I'm stating this wrong. You saying it is Black men in college, and it's not like it's more entrepreneurs today. So,
no, I think he's trying to say Black men don't want college. Well, then how are there more entrepreneurs? Because there are more Black entrepreneurs, but I think it's a side effect of less Black men going to college. More men are for going to college and saying, hey, I'm gonna get out here and start up my own thing and see where it get me. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about college is it'll always be there. You can go back and get your education, but in your youth, while you got the energy to do the running around, you got the enthusiasm, man, dive into that passion project. Why not? That's one thing about being a man. You got to become. And you can become at any point. You got people who really don't step into their greatness into their 50s. You got people who walk into their greatness at 25. But I never seen anybody get anywhere great without taking risk. You know what I mean? So I think a lot more men now are stepping out and saying, you know what, I'm gonna try something else before I just go dive 100K in the student loan debt right quick. You know?
That's the key. Jumping into student loan debt. Like nobody wants to jump into that anymore. Nobody wants to do that. I think you said it best. So with them saying black men don't want college, it's not necessarily that. Hey man, y'all know how they did this. They moved the goalposts, man. They went from, oh man, you guys got to go to college, so we started going to college. And I like, oh man, we need trade schools now. You know, people starting to get out, go to trade schools. Now we're starting building our own communities. They told us we had that we don't step out enough to build our own. People starting to build their own. Now they're gonna move it again shortly. Don't worry about it. We'll get that. We'll get that soon too. But the one of the major tricks that they do is they try to control where they want the money to go because the money could be filled in certain areas. And one was college. It was so at that aspect. Yeah, man. We as black men are taking a totally different step, and I like it.
But I wonder why is this conversation solely in the black community though? I think that's one of the biggest questions that we have to ask ourselves is like, because I don't care, you can go Google right now, man. I ain't, and correct me if I'm wrong, I ain't seen no white men having to talk about this type of stuff.
They got the money and they got the power. We're trying to necessarily get there. We're trying to get the money. We're trying to get the power. We're trying to become established. And they're going to find every which way to knock us down. And the first way is to make it seem like we're uneducated, like we don't know what we're talking about. So, oh, look, they're not even going to college anymore. Doesn't it sound like a knock? Sounds like that's all they're doing. They're trying to find a different way to knock us than portraying it as it really is. Because they showed them like to say, hey, there's more entrepreneurs and they're building their own. No, they're not saying that either.
Nah, and you know what too? I just think it's just a matter of the fact that the media is controlled by those of that complexion. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
a lot of it is perception based because if you look at the numbers, ethnicity aside, just look at all the numbers for America. Most Americans are struggling, color aside, just period. So that's all households, that's everybody. Most people fall into the middle class by percentage and lower class. So, you know, there's plenty of white folks and non-black people who are having the same hardships and the same struggles with getting information and then the application of that information to do better as a family and getting their cousins and their aunties on board, right? Trying to really build empires and establish themselves. They're having a hard time with the mental aspect of it. Whereas just as many white people going through it, you just not gonna see it. Right, they're going to show you the best representations of them, the echelon of them, right? In the media, when you see a white person represented, it's normally going to be in their best light, whatever it is. They're going to represent them in their best light. They don't care if they got to go back to 4th grade to show the last time that he was a good person. That's where they'll go, right? Whereas with you, they're going to show you in the worst possible light possible. You know, oh, well, they don't, by the same token, they don't care if they got to go back to when you was 13 to say you were once upon a time arrested for stealing a Snicker bar. You feel me? They're going to find the worst light to put on you. You feel me? So I think it's a matter of who controls the media. There's just as many white folks struggling, more, because there's more of them in this country by numbers. So it's more of them struggling than it is us. It's just not depicted. I think that's part of it too.
But do you guys think we control more of this type of media though?
No.
You know, y'all don't think we control more of this now? I think we do. I think like this YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all that. I think African Americans are actually, because I think it's what pays them. I think we control most of what's being pushed out because they're like, hey, let them push it out. They're gonna push it out themselves. You see what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but I feel like the way they set the algorithm up, we going to see it's going to make it look that way. There's a lot more of them out there as well. We just tend it's the algorithm. Pay attention to the algorithm. The algorithm always sets it up as it should be. Like for instance, like if I go on my page right now, I'll probably see you guys, more people that look like us. that's how they want the algorithm to be set. Where if we were Caucasian, I really do believe we will run into a lot more Caucasian individuals on your page. They set the algorithm for a certain reason because they want to make it seem and also discourage us too. Because let's say you got a podcast, you got a podcast, and then I'm like, oh man, I want to start a podcast. And then I'm like, man, there's a lot of people out here doing podcasts. I guess I'll just hold off because I'm seeing that algorithm of so many people. But this is why I like individuals like you all, because you think on your own with your own accord and move as you should on your own accord. Once we start to do that and not worry about the outside noise from them, we'll be fine.
Okay. So plug. We just played the video of the gentleman that stated that men are the problem. Was you able to look at that video?
Yeah, I checked it out.
You was able to look. Let's see here. Justin said, "Do white men even express in detail their deduction about the white woman psyche?" Well, I guess that's modern psychology. So these conclusions from conversations like this should be experimented plus book. Okay.
Yeah, you was right though, Marcus. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Sometimes I play with my algorithm a little bit. Like I go tap into some Joe Rogan for a couple days just to see what else it starts spitting me. And it's some white boys podcasting, man, and they talking about they women too. And they haven't listen. This is an American woman thing. That's why on my channel you only sometimes see me based on the topic say black women, black men. Most of the time it's just women and men because I'm telling you. They having the same issues. The white women lost it, but they just brought the sisters with them. Feminism was a white woman's movement. Yeah. They went and they got the sisters, and then we went too far. You feel me? So
let me tell y'all something. So one night I was super bored, and I just went and I was looking up the algorithm. Like literally, bro. I was looking up the algorithm, and some people said some things that made a lot of sense. He was like, look at the algorithm and look at the things that you actually sit and watch, and then when you start to reel through your reels, watch what populates. Like go stop on something that you would never stop on, watch it a few times, go back, click out, go back in, and watch how many times things of that nature pop up after. That's how the algorithm is set. It's that's why sometimes we have to be a little bit careful about what we click on, because sometimes we don't know that they set that algorithm to be as such. Yeah, I was doing some digging just late one night. Yeah. So
Plug, do you feel men are the problem with society today? I think you muted, Plug. Oh, he got these fancy little stuff.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Most of them, bro. Most of them problem, bro.
Explain, elaborate.
Most of them can't think for themselves, bro. And most of them haven't been raised by men. Most of them haven't been raised by men. They haven't been around real men.
So I have a question. If they haven't been raised by men, but wouldn't that make the women a problem if they raising them? No, I can see what you're saying. Because there's no men, it's the man's fault. But is it the women's fault for raising them as well? I mean,
kind of go hand in hand, killer. I can't lie. It go hand in hand. It go hand in hand, man. It go hand in hand. But women are misinformed because they didn't have no men either. It's tough, bro. I wish I could have been here for y'all dialogue.
we you missed too, but we were just talking like we all kind of feel that men aren't the problem, but I think Classic got something that you.
I'm just trying to figure this out. Like because look, if the mom is present, how's the dad at fault for being absent? It's the person who their fault. It's the person who their fault. If I'm not here, how am I influenced? So you saying my? Go ahead.
That as well. It was a clip that I heard earlier. Well, but it was like he said, man, sometimes y'all might need to sit down and have a conversation with your pops. He said you might want to sit down and have a conversation with your pops because you don't even know what type of woman your mother was. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what type of woman she is. You see the woman that she is today, who she's grown into be, but you ain't know how she was back then.
So, yeah, it's deeper than I agree with that. I saw that same clip, but it's deeper than that. And I talk about it on my channel. Before I know you're getting ready to transition. So before we do, I gotta y'all spiritual, religious brothers, like y'all Christian, what y'all doing? Okay, so if y'all think about the Bible, I don't know if y'all read the whole thing or if y'all studied it, how much, but think about it now if you haven't before. Is there more women in the Bible that ain't shit? Or that's like holier than thou? Just off top of your head. So is it fair? So is it fair, scripturally, spiritually, religiously? Is it fair to say that it is in the nature of the woman to be kind of evil? And the ones that are set apart, those are the wives. That's why a man that findeth a wife find a good thing. That means you was able to sort through, you know what I'm saying? Because in their nature, the first one of them, according to the word, the first one of them, disobedient, manipulative, right? Let's talk about it for real, right? She went to not only did she know what the laws was, she went to the tree. You went to the tree with the man present. You entertained a conversation with the serpent. Why are you speaking if the man is present? Shouldn't he be talking to the serpent? Not only that, before you ate of the fruit, the scripture says that you examined it, saw that it was good, nutritious. You thought it through and made a dumb decision and ate of the fruit. Not only did you eat of the fruit, but then you offered it to him. He examined it. Yeah, that's manipulation. That was the first gaslight in Genesis. That was the first gaslight. Let's talk about it for real. So it's safe. Yeah. Let's listen.
But it's even deeper than that, though.
Yeah.
Like, because you gotta. I tell people words are so important, and I think a lot of people look into the Bible because it also says Satan beguiled Adam and Eve. Go look up the word beguile and see what that means. Like, I think people like, I understand. I think that's it's almost like a 50-50 debate. You know what I mean? Because you can look at Eve and blame Eve, but also you got to look at like, okay, they don't give us enough details. And I think that's why I tell people, like, when you think about the word, that's why so many women get trapped in Proverbs, right? But they don't go read the book of Ruth. Because if you go read the book of Ruth, Ruth is really telling you what type of woman you need to be. Like, we get stuck in this virtuous woman stuff, but if you keep reading that word and go to the book of Ruth, Ruth followed all instructions.
Yeah, I don't blame Eve though. I blame Adam totally because he was I don't blame Eve at all. Adam, but that's to say the first man was weak of the flesh. The first man was a simp. The first man was soft. The first man wasn't a leader. That just let you know what our nature is. If we're taking this as this, and I'm a spiritual person, but I know the word through and through. But I'm a spiritual man, right? But what I'm saying is, if the first man was weak like that, wasn't a leader, wasn't vocal, didn't tell her, put the fruit down. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? That's what should have occurred, right? But it didn't. So that lets us know what the first man's proclivity was. If the first woman can examine the fruit, talk to the serpent, and still choose to eat the fruit, that lets you know the nature of what the first woman was. So it's telling us right there what we fighting against in our nature, right? So to be greater, it's an uphill battle from there, right? You got to develop discipline. That's why these skills and these things stop so many people from being great, because they hard to have and to maintain. But that's really what it is, bro. Samson, before Samson finally got backdoored by Delilah, 3 other chicks backdoored him.
Yeah.
People don't even read the whole stories. They just know the end. Like, oh, she didn't cut his hair. She let the people in to get to him. You know what I'm saying? She cut his hair, then let the people in, so he was too weak to fight. But before that, he went to the brothel to go get something from a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? And she tried to set him up, but he left in the nighttime. They was going to try to get him in the morning. I know the word, right? Before that, his wife, he left town for a little bit after having a little scuffle, left town for a little bit, come back, his wife with another dude that he know. What's going on, y'all? So when we talk about this, even from a spiritual aspect of it, A man that find of a wife really he hit the lotto. If you really think about it, their nature, bro. Think about y'all sisters, y'all cousins. We know the women that do this stuff. But if you say it out loud, you hate them, right? You're a misogynist. So
I like to think simpler. Like for instance, take all the men and put them in a room. Most likely, we all go get along. When we disagree, we'll fight it out, but then we'll be back on the same accord, right? You put women in that circle, just only women, all hell go break loose, and we've seen it happen plenty of times, especially in the military. Norris knows. You put women in that little bitty circle, and they got to stay around each other for so long, all hell breaks loose. Where you could take us men, put us in that circle, we'll be good. We'll learn how to, move around. If we do get into altercations, it's a hit. Then we're back to what we exactly are. So when they ask us who's really the problem, gotta lean on the women, man.
All right. We ain't gonna stay. We can. This is a subject we can talk about for a long period of time, especially if you go like from the spiritual aspect. So we're gonna go ahead and transition. Man, I wish the women were here, man. See, this is the problem. Even like Classic said, when we don't have women here, you can't even have these discussions. If there's any women watching live, put your opinion in the chat so we can talk about this. We can discuss it. We're kind of going to do a little pivot here because we don't have the women because we wanted to talk about some other things tonight, but we're going to go ahead and pivot to something different here. Let's go ahead and get this next topic.
Reincarnated.
I'm going here real quick.
I'm y'all, my baby. Woke up looking for the broccoli.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me on too, man. It's fun. We're gonna have a good time.
Appreciate you being here, dog.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's go ahead to this next topic. The question is it about money or what you can learn? So this is coming from Anton Daniels. We're gonna do a little reaction to this real quick. So let's see here.
I want to date someone that's below me. I don't. I'm going to be completely honest. And I think that's something that's pushed on Black women a lot is to date under.
The wrong decision.
I'm going to be honest. I don't want to date someone that's below me. I don't. I'm going to be completely honest. And I think that's something that's pushed on Black women a lot is to date under. And I think we always operate in extremes. It doesn't have to be extreme. Just because I'm not going to date a McDonald's worker doesn't mean that I have to date a CEO. So it doesn't have to be in these very extreme social media one in a lifetime chances. I just want someone I'm going to be able to learn from, and that can be in any field. So it doesn't have to be someone in corporate. I've dated, people who work in construction that make really good money. I've done trade work. I'm a service provider. I've dated other service providers. They make money as well. So it's all about, what we can do together and what can I learn from my partner and what they can learn from me.
So what do you gentlemen think about that? What do you guys think about that?
I'm gonna take this one first. Listen to what she said, bro. Everything she said came into the terms of money. I don't have to date the CEO. I dated someone who was a construction worker, but they made really good money. I just want to learn from someone, but I'm not going to date anybody working at McDonald's. What is McDonald's known for? As a low-wage making job. She says it's not about the money, but yet everything she speaks about is money low-key. What is she talking about? She says she wants to learn. Well, that person who works at McDonald's can teach you hard work sometimes doesn't pay off, but if you work hard enough, you can make it somewhere where you can move up. That man in construction can teach you how to build a house. This is correct necessarily, but he doesn't necessarily have the mental fortitude to go through the tough times as the individual who's at McDonald's. See, they tell you what they want, but that's not what they really want. She told you everything you wanted. She wanted, which was the money, but she trying to lay it on sly to not make herself look bad. Jesus Christ, man.
That's it. He summed that shit up. But you said everything I was going to say, D. God damn it, you on point this evening. I swear that, boy. We miss you, boy. Boy, we miss you, boy. I swear that, boy. You made this salad taste so much better. I swear that, boy. That truth right there. That's some dressing you can put on this bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that pause, bro.
Huh?
That salad, you made that salad taste so good. No, you got it now, but I just needed that pause in there. But nah, man,
My bad. I ain't know I was in there.
nah, man, it's all good. I
That
miss y'all too,
was
man.
love. That was love, bro.
Much
That's all
love.
she was talking about with the money, bro.
But again, man, this goes. I was actually about to put this in your chat today, Classic, but I had to get to my next client. He talked about something today, and he coined the word. I got to give it to him. He coined it. He even gave it a definition. So,
Yeah.
What was that word? In that what you got to say the definition? What was the word?
First baddie syndrome.
And what I was trying to type in there before I had to get going was, I really think that's on the other hand for women. I think women, like her especially, see, men, we bad at this because when we're younger, like we're all older now, but when we were younger, we were probably some of those baddies' best experiences as men. Like sometimes as a man, you got to feel like, hey, I'm a solid 7 out of 10. You know what I mean? When I compare myself to other men, or I know some men feel like they've been approached before, things of that nature. We all know what type of attention we get, especially I was in the military. So it was crazy in the military. So like, it was crazy. Like, you can have it your way in the military. With that being said, I feel we are the ones who have increased the value of women who technically should have no value. That's the true baddie experience, because there's women who now date up because they got the opportunity to slip in with that simp. See, like, I think we have to start talking about this more. I call it the Adele effect. If you go back to my old stuff, I call it the Adele effect. We never remember the fat, overweight woman with all the trauma. Everybody's celebrating the skinny white woman who's dating Rich Paul. Like everybody now celebrating Lizzo because she lost weight.
I don't celebrate them bitches.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm the majority, not the minority.
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? But we celebrate these people, but we forget about who accepted them when they were not even acceptable. And I think we have to start talking about it, because that woman wasn't that attractive, unless you want some sagging boobs. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'll feel free to give y'all opinion.
Go ahead.
My bad, dog. No, you go.
Oh, I was gonna say my initial reaction to what she was saying was just like, here we go, we got another one, right? Like they make their criteria sound like, I'm not even looking for anything that is like that, crazy. I just want this and that. But it's like, if the criteria that you're talking about is so simple and so reasonable and so modest, why hasn't anyone met it? Because you're sitting there single, just talking. It's nothing worse than a single woman on the internet with a mic, man. They'll say anything. The women with the husbands, they be kicking that shit. You know what I'm saying? The single joints, they will literally say anything. Booty hole brown. They'll say anything. You feel me? They crazy. They radical, dog. It's nothing worse.
Oh, we got listen, you. Oh man, okay.
I missed it.
You're good because we're gonna go back. We went overboard just so I said we got to get a lady up here.
We had the kindergarten awards today. I had to go celebrate with my babies, but we good now.
Okay.
They snapping pictures of me like, I'm just paparazzi. I'm just like, okay, let's take pictures. Okay, they're 5. They're 5 and 6.
No problem. Man, how should we transition? Y'all got anything else to say about that video? Because I really want to hit this second topic, because we have a female here.
Okay.
All right.
We got Classic in here. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So we about to this.
All right.
And we actually gonna bring Classic to the front of the congregation, man. We're gonna use one of Classic. One of his. He actually had this question on his podcast.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm still suffering on TikTok from that. They still got me going through it, bro. It's bad.
And this is a good question, Lisa. Hopefully you can help us with it. It says,
Okay.
do Black women desire marriage? That's what I labeled it, but he's going to go a little bit more in depth on his video. So there we go.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
Let's get over into the question of the day, man. Let's do it. So the question of the day: what is the average black woman's American dream? And does it involve a husband? Sheesh. What is the average black woman's American dream, and does it involve a husband? I gotta process this real quick, chat. We coming off live on Instagram. Chat. All right. I'm trying to process this, y'all, because I don't really know. I don't know. Like, I wish we had some sisters in the chat right now to really speak to it. Maybe we have to pose this as a question when I start bringing females on the panel and stuff like that. Or I could use it on Souls of Thought panel when I go up there on the 28th. I think I'm supposed to be I'm gonna try to see if we could stream live simultaneously. So while I'm on his panel, y'all can watch it here too. But y'all definitely need to tap in with his channel too, Souls of Thought. But what is the average black woman's American dream?
I can't hear.
You muted, bro.
Oh, there we go. I was like, I can't hear anything.
Oh, so I won't play the whole thing because we got Classic in the building, so he's able to do his thing. But listen, you perfect timing, boy. Some people say we lucked up. I call it perfect time.
You know, and you know what, cousin? I saw your TikTok as well about single women.
Hey, we here for it. We'll discuss both today. So let's start with this. What you think? What do you think the Black American dream is for women, and does it include a husband?
Okay, so first, let me just say that I can't speak for every Black woman. However, I've gone through a lot of experiences, as many of my Black sisters. And I think it, number one, goes to those experiences, right? If you're constantly experiencing something over and over and over again, your brain, your body, whatever, it's going to start telling you, okay, let's stay away from that. And we also are going into this movement of being more empowered with your education, being more empowered with being able to take care of yourself, being more empowered of loving yourself and learning about yourself. So I think that movement too is speaking to why some women, I won't say that they are 100% saying they don't want to be married, but they might be saying, I think I'm gonna put it on the back burner just for a little bit, because I'm not going to allow society to tell me to be fulfilled as a woman, I have to be a wife, if that makes sense. Just like the family structure has changed over the course of the years, I think people's mental shifts are changing as well. I mean, women, as we know, Black women are, I don't know the exact statistics, but Black women are some of the, the highest educated people around, right? So with that education, we don't want to just sit that degree on the shelf. So they, a lot of women are focusing on careers and focusing on fulfilling themselves. Oh, I want to travel. Because if I'm by myself, I don't have to worry about a man cheating. If I'm by myself, I don't have to worry about, wondering what this person is doing. If I'm by myself, I don't have to worry about taking care of this. And maybe they just focusing on them. That's what I'm going to say. Learning to love themselves and learning to focus on themselves. And then maybe they're like, okay, I'll revisit the marriage thing later. Because I used to be that woman. I do want to get married. Let me make that very clear. But there has been moments in my life where I'm like, I'm good on them pancakes, homie. I'm good.
I'm going to sit out on this one. I'm going to this is something that Classic has been wanting answers to.
Come on, Classic.
I'm gonna let you guys discuss this. Any Q&A you need to do, then D and Plug, y'all can do y'all thing too.
Okay, so I guess the census that I was able to get from it came really from TikTok. And the issue that I had was that generally when you get a lot of responses, somehow you're able to come to like a census, right? A majority of something. I still don't know. I have, I don't know, 60 different comments from different women saying different. Some women were flat out triggered by the question. So they insulted me, right? And then some women tried to answer it, and there were so many different answers. Some women was like, financial freedom and traveling. That was their answers. Some women were like, yeah, I do desire a husband, but not just any husband. Standards are a thing. Like, some women were, but no, there were very few answers. You know what I didn't see, which is my concern? I didn't see, yes, of course. I didn't see any of that. Like, yes, of course, I want a husband. Like, absolutely. Or like on behalf of the sisterhood, I think most of us want a husband. There was none of that. It was a lot of like, I'm cool, like a lot of indifference, to use the perfect word. There was a ton of indifference. And for the men, there was a ton of men in the comments going after the women, right? Like, we don't want y'all anyway. But it was a lot of that back and forth. So I'm just reading through it and I'm just like, wow, we're in a bad space. And I think the problem is that no man, at least me, I'll speak for myself. I don't want a woman who's indifferent about me. Right? Like, I want a woman who wants me and needs me, and she lets me know, and I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. Because if not, I can, as a man, I have the liberty to just get me some bread, be a bachelor, run through the streets, and I can call or text some vagina when I feel like it. I'll always have that option because there's always going to be somebody liberated that's ready to slide. You know what I'm saying? So that's the luxury that we have. Now, on the woman's side, my question to you, just, and you can only answer for yourself, like you said, but I'm sure you interact with the sisterhood. My question would be, is that the amount of women that are saying now, while they still have some of their youth, that they're cool with or without, do you really feel like they're going to really feel that way as they age? Getting 60 alone sounds crazy to me. So I just want to know a woman's take on it.
Okay. So I don't think people generally want to grow old alone. I don't. Like, for me, I said it I was like, now let me make it very clear. I do want to get married, but there was a point in time in my life where I was a hard no. I'm good with just doing me. I'm good with just being with me. And my reason was primarily because of experiences. But as I got older and as I've gotten wiser and more mature, I had to realize that when we have a thought, it turns into a feeling. That feeling is going to evoke another thought, and it's going to continue and like kind of snowball effect. So I had to realize, okay, I got to watch my words and what I'm saying and be very clear and be very direct. And maybe some women don't want to come out and say it, because when we put that out in the atmosphere, now we're opening up for judgment, because Black women are always so judged, as we have recently seen with the RG3 Ryan Clark situation, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese kind of thing. It's like Black women, there's always something being said about a Black woman. So maybe, and I'm speaking for me, I was saying no because it's easier to say no to it than put it out there and say I'm actively looking for a husband and I don't find a husband, or I don't meet the right person, or and also we as women, we have to learn more about ourselves and learn, okay, what is it that what do you want? Don't let society tell you, don't let your mama, your grandma, your cousin, who cares what they're saying on the news, who cares, whatever, what do you really want? And don't be afraid to just say it. And if it don't happen, it's fine. But I think that's the scary part with saying a yes or no, maybe that's why.
May I respectfully interject real quick? Plug for
Of
you
course.
go.
Yeah.
So when you say don't let anybody decide what do you want, you're an educator. How many students have been left to just learn chapter 3 alone? Like, guidance is a thing. Like, I don't get the whole concept of telling sisters figure out what it is that you want. You don't have to listen to you should listen to somebody from somewhere about something who's been here longer, right? Who knows a thing or two, who maybe can teach you. Maybe they fell on their face and they don't know what to show you to do, but they can tell you everything not to do. Like, isn't guidance like the right way to go?
I agree. Yes, 100. Okay, I didn't say that good enough. I didn't say that very well enough. When I say don't listen to other people, I mean like any type of negativity that may come your way, or people doubting your dreams, or people downplaying what you're saying. Like, some women might be afraid to say their standards or say what they want because they don't want to be looked at as a gold digger or looked as this. So when I say don't listen to people, I mean like negativity. That's what I meant in that sense. I feel like everyone, man, woman, should have some accountability partner, like somebody to give them guidance. And I like that part, what you said about maybe listen to women who can tell you what not to do instead of somebody trying to like tell you, girl, this is what you need. Maybe, okay, sis, this is where I went wrong. So maybe, if you notice these patterns, maybe, this can help you along the way. And yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Where did all this confusion come in with women? I mean, where's all this confusion, and why is there such confusion? You find someone to be with. I mean, why we gotta keep dipping it? Dog, that's the worst thing in the world, is to go to that bin at Walmart and had all the DVDs in it, and you just throwing DVDs to the side and doing all this right here. That shit is crazy. Y'all fucking crazy. Y'all a little Looney Tune. You saying that you want to get a degree and chase your dreams and travel. You can do that with somebody. You can pursue anything you like. Your man should be behind you in all your endeavors. This shit is crazy. You want a nigga way up here, you can't deal with a nigga way down here. What happened to everybody pulling each other up? I mean, like, they met in college. He jumped into his career. She was working a regular job. She messed around, got pregnant. He tried to get a better job to try to hold it down. The kid got into daycare. She went and pursued her career. He took time off, and they balanced each other out to make the relationship in the household work.
That don't look good for the gram, though. That don't look good for the gram. Ain't nobody trying to do that.
Everybody, all y'all gotta go to Dubai. All y'all gotta go to France. All y'all gotta be in the Bahamas in the damn sand. Everybody gotta be on the boat. Everybody gotta have a V12. Everybody gotta have red bottles. Everybody gotta have a damn purse. Sit your ass down.
Maybe they do.
Have a happy home. You need security. You need support. You need somebody gonna love you, and a damn orgasm. How about that?
Norris, real quick, can I say something?
I'm a bad guy for a second.
Have we ever thought about too? Maybe there's a lack of role models to even portray that, because like I said, the family structure in the Black family structure has been broken down for quite some time now. And I feel like it's so unfair for everybody to always say all this stuff about Black women. But if you're not seeing that on a regular as well, then that may not be to the forefront of your mind. It's not necessary. And like I said, to me, I think it may not necessarily be I'm never getting married, but it could be I'm not getting married right now. And maybe they're not saying that, I don't know. But that's something to think about too, is what type of family structures are we seeing on a daily basis? What type of role models are we seeing?
Ma'am, if you can create the business and the mind and the structure in the financial world that you want to create, well, put the same mind power to the relationship you want to create.
But you got a left brain and a right brain, and they both work differently. When we're talking about the career, and then we're talking about love and emotion. Like we're talking about they are different. A woman,
hey,
a woman who
I just be, hey.
when you're in corporate America, when you're on your job, now my job is a little different because I'm a teacher. I teach little children, but you probably working from two different angles. I'm trying to get my sisters some. We want to be married. I believe we just might be afraid to say what it is we want. Maybe.
So I actually have an answer to what you asked, Alyssa.
Okay.
So, and I Classic heard this earlier. Y'all do have the role models, but y'all are not willing to tolerate or go through what those role models go through. Let me explain myself.
Mm-hmm.
When you go back to years back,
I feel like I'm being bullied.
no.
I'm playing. I'm just playing.
And you're good. But this
Never
is
gang up on you.
this is for all women. Women will never have successful marriages and relationships until they're willing to tolerate the things that women of the past were able to tolerate. Nothing has changed. It's just that women don't tolerate things because now social media tells you can be independent, you can be liberated, you can do all these things. But let me give you an example. People who are big Beyonce fans, right? The whole Beehive. That beautiful lady was cheated on by one of the most unattractive men in America, and she stayed. She didn't allow what other people's opinions about her staying meant. Another relationship, people might not agree with the way they raised their child, but Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, hey, they had their little back and forth, but they decided to work it out. And if you watch Gabrielle on her little podcast and stuff now, when she talks, she's giving Dwayne Wade all that control that he wanted, even though they're doing some other things that I don't agree with. But that all to say is that our role models show us what we need to do. One of the most horrible marriages in the world exploded during the COVID pandemic was the Red Table, Will Smith and Jada. Look at all the things that they both endured but stayed together.
So you're saying Will and Jada.
I'm just giving them an example.
Hold on. I just want to make sure I understand. So you're saying Will and Jada, Gabrielle Union and D Wade, and who was that other one?
Beyonce
and Jay-Z. Because they chose to stay with a person that cheated. Those are my role models that I'm supposed to look after. And women should tolerate cheating from a man to have a successful marriage.
If that's how
a little bit. No, a little bit. Yeah. If okay, so I'm
that's not sitting well with me.
So here's the thing. If
you go
ahead, yep. Don't cook.
What about the Russell Wilsons and the Sierras?
But we don't know if Russell Wilson or Sierra never stepped out. They just everybody don't put their business out. Just like we finally heard about LeBron James messing with white girls when he go over out of town in different places. We don't hear about everybody's truth.
So you're saying every man cheats, and women need to deal with it.
I feel every man goes through certain phases in their life depending on where they are. You have to see where the seasons are. If you're getting married like we're supposed to at 18, 19, build our family from the ground up, yeah, you're going to probably go through some infidelity because that man and that woman are both growing together. Things change.
But then you're not ready to get married.
You can't say, are you ever ready? If you
but
don't
at 18 and 19, life is just starting for you, like from under your parents' roof. And you said, and I'm not like upset.
No,
but you said if people get married like they're supposed to at 18 and 19, so that's the rule to get married.
But that's maybe supposed is the bad word, but back in the day, that's what you seen, right? You seen
back in the day.
Our grandparents and stuff were married at 13, 14 years old. They were finding their husbands and building a life, having 8 to 10 kids, building their life. I feel that marriage wasn't set up for us to start waiting for we're 35 and 40. I don't think that. That's my opinion. I only can speak from. That's why I made that post about when I see women
we need to play that.
When women keep posting about I'm independent and I'm single. If you're 45 or up and you're single, you might be the common denominator because you can't tell me out of all these men that you have experienced that nobody was worth the like, let's push through this, let's make this a family, let's make this work. Nobody like
Oh,
that.
you so nice. You nice.
Yeah, man.
You're kind.
Codependency.
You kind.
If a woman
You heard him.
If a woman knew better, but codependency is one some of the greatest shit on the
Hey,
earth.
y'all go ahead. Y'all,
So
hey,
what about? I want to take it to the scripture real quick. The Bible says, "He who finds a wife." You're
Amen.
sitting here saying with women, out of
You
all these men, if you have no, and that's what we're getting it wrong.
no, I'm saying you missed this part. You finna go into what we go ahead. We talked about this at the beginning.
Oh, because I'm like, it seems like too much work is on this woman. And maybe women, because you're talking about tolerating cheating, maybe that's why Black women have gotten to a point where no, I don't have to tolerate cheating.
Those scenarios they cheated. People tolerate different things, but those people who I named, they went through infidelity. But some people go through maybe their husband was a gambler, they lost money, maybe everybody goes through different things because money is actually the leading cause of divorce. Go ahead, Clay.
Are we gonna do this? We gonna really pretend like grandma wasn't cheating on grandpa? We gonna pretend like some of these siblings weren't half brothers and sisters? Are we really gonna do this? Are we about to do this, y'all? Wait, so are we saying are we painting a narrative that the women of yesteryear were tolerating the men cheating and they weren't doing any stepping out? Like that mailman and the milkman thing, that was real. That was real, y'all. Yeah, I hope y'all know that. It's a lot of milkmen with a lot of kids out here. That was the old sperm bank. Yeah. We're not gonna do that, y'all. We can't do that. And then
looking like homeboy.
Yeah, come on now.
It's just feeling really. It just feel like it's really like all this Black woman on this Black woman vibe, and a successful relationship, a successful marriage takes two emotionally mature people. Period. And that could be why some Black women are choosing to opt out, because it's like, no, I don't have to tolerate cheating, or no, I don't have to tolerate gambling, or because I've worked so hard and I've done all of this. And women are learning to set boundaries and standards for themselves, and they won't accept anything less than until they get it. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong.
How do you know a man cheated if you never catch him? Nah, for real. Like, cause we talking like we got monitors on each other. Like, how do you validate or verify that like you got into a marriage with somebody who never cheated? Like, yeah, I beat the game. Like, I'm finna die. My husband's finna die, and he never cheated. How you know? Like, how you men cheat successfully? Men get away with cheating. Don't get it. All men don't get caught.
But what it sounds like you're saying is all men cheat.
No, it's not what I'm saying. All men don't even get access to vagina at all. Most men are sexless.
And I never said that that a woman is saying their significant other never cheated. That's not what I'm saying. But I done forgot what I said.
I guess all I'm saying is that like there's too much emphasis on the fidelity aspect of the relationship. The reality of it is, if you're attracted to attractive people and you plan on being with this person for 4 or 5 decades, there's a possibility that somewhere along the road they may or may not step out. And here's the whole thing. Like, my mother and father are still together. They've been together almost 50 years. You know what I'm saying? They've been together forever. And they met when they were 14 years old. My mother has always said she wouldn't know if my dad was cheating because she's not checking for it. She's not looking for it. You know what I'm saying? She really is. My father's worked nights my entire life. He has worked the night shift my whole life. He has never worked the day shift my whole life, right? So it's nothing for him to call off work. She don't know it. He go kick it with the other chick and come home like he was at work. It's nothing. You feel me? He could have had a whole nother family for all she know. He doesn't, as far as we all know, but I'm just painting a picture that he could have, right? But she's not looking for it. She's not trying to find a way out of her marriage. She's not looking for turbulence in her marriage. Now, if something come knocking on the door, she's even said, if there's another woman, I hope she's ready to share because I'm not going nowhere. This is the mentality of old. You know what I'm saying? These women now, everything, there's always an exit. Everything is, I can go back to the streets. There's nothing in the streets. It's like leave and go where? All my exes failing. All of them, ain't none of them doing good because ain't nothing in the streets. And if you're trying to go up from me, good luck. And I tell them before they end up ruining the relationship themselves, I let them know when you leave from here, it's only down. It's only down, and they don't believe it. I could get another you, and they still out there looking, getting older and older by the day. Women on a clock. All this wait till later stuff. And here's my issue. That's what I wanted to address. When you said women are waiting till later, or they prioritizing other things, and then they want to get a husband when they're ready. I don't really have necessarily an issue with that, because black don't crack. Sisters will look good until they 70 if they take care of themselves, right? So I ain't really tripping off that. It's the things that they do and the bevy of experiences that they rack up while they're waiting to get serious. They're not waiting till later celibate. They're not waiting till later abstinent. They're never really alone. You're attractive. I'm sure there's a man in your phone. No woman that looked good is ever really alone. He said 4 of them.
So I'm a different. I'm cut from a different cloth. If I am decentering men, I can do that. Like nothing. Like zero. You can. They'll tell you, because they'll be, and I'm like, no. I don't, thank you, but I don't want that. Thank you. But anyway, off of that, it sounds like we're jumping more into like fidelity, and that wasn't my thing. I said experiences, and those experiences don't all necessarily have to be about fidelity, right? But then also, and I know from just me personally, when I look back at my past relationships, whatever, I noticed a pattern, and I noticed, okay, that pattern is something with me, not with the men. But that takes a level of emotional maturity to get to, and being like,
yeah, what I said.
You did, because I ain't ashamed to say it. I turned 45 this year, yes, but but men have tried to marry me like that.
Damn, listen, you 45.
I didn't.
I'm still 44 right now, though.
This is embarrassing out there.
But see, that level of transparency that you have,
but you on the clock.
But I ain't on no clock. It took me time.
Yeah,
it took me time to get there, and I'm gonna be honest. Honestly, it was the last good relationship that I had that really knocked me to the ground, where I was like, God, what is going on? Like, I gotta figure this out.
What happened?
Well, we're gonna talk about that off camera. But I had to look back at myself and be like, dang, every dude I dated has something similar, some kind of common denominator. So then I had to look inward I had to change the question from, why is this happening to me? I'm a good woman, to why do I keep allowing it to happen? What is happening with me?
The right man and the wrong man say the same thing. The only thing that differentiates is their intentions.
But it takes a level of maturity too to get to a point where it's like, I got to stop pointing at other people and I got to look at myself. But I do believe that women, I think people can take a period without conversing to the opposite sex. Like, you don't have to, like, not all the time, do you?
I mean, like, when is the deadline?
Deadline for what?
I mean, when the deadline, when the cutoffs go for the streets, and we.
Well, Alyssa is not in the streets, okay? Alyssa is not for the streets.
Hold on. Now, these questions it's directed at you because you're the only female present. Right? And when the cutoff for the streets? When the cutoff
well, let's say that for men too.
And when
why do men get gas and women?
I noticed that women are always looking at the what's wrong instead of what's right or what could be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's always the what's wrong? Why you keep looking at negative? Why is the mindset negative? The mindset should be, I got him. I ain't thinking about nothing else. I'm thinking about everything else other than the bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, when are we going to get to that point where, because I'm telling you, a lot of dudes lock in. They don't even bullshit. I know from most of the dudes that I rock with, When they find one, they know. They be like, shit, I'm locked in, bro.
You know what though? I don't mean to cut you off, but you just said something. I listen. I'm gonna have to send it to you, Norris, and you can play it because we always centering on women. But there was, I think he might have been a pastor, and I think I saved it. He said, you can tell how good a man is by how much the woman smiles. So if these women are not smiling, okay, men, let's step up. Let's make safe spaces for women to be emotional, but also women at the same time, when a man is making something a safe space for us, because I know I've been guilty of this, like asking my man, like, I need you to tell me how you feel. Tell me this, tell me that. And then when they tell me, I blow up because I don't like what they said. So as women, because we come from an emotional space and men are more logical thinkers, we have to both find that middle ground to be emotionally mature. And that's what I'm saying. It comes to a level of maturity. And I think for Black women, when we change their experiences, then they're going to change their mind about marriage. But right now, they may not believe in marriage right now because of the experiences they've had.
I have a question. As a just put yourself in my shoes, be a man real quick, and just put yourself in my mental space. Why would I do all of this, quote unquote, stepping up for a woman that is indifferent about whether or not she could or could not do without me? So why am I doing all this stepping up to get a woman who's indifferent about not even me as an individual, but just about the position? You're indifferent about having a man for a life. You're could not, depends on who I run into. So why am I doing all of this hard work, all of this stepping up, all of this concentrating and dedicating to becoming and acquiescing to what women are saying they want, to in turn get a woman who could or could not do it without me? Why am I doing that? Put yourself in our shoes real quick and try to provide me with a logical response to like that. The return on investment on that is horrific.
No, I understand. And that's why I say it takes a level of maturity for a woman, because I know for me personally, I have, when I was not emotionally mature, I've had some men that tried to step up and try to show me, hey, I'm a safe space. I'm not trying to do this with you, but I wasn't ready to receive it. Women have to be ready to receive it. And until you get to that point yourself, people can say whatever they want to say. But until you in your mind get to that point that I'm really truly going to give this man that opportunity to show me, and in return, this is what I'm going to show him, then we're not, maybe that's why they're indifferent, because they don't trust that they're really going to get a different experience. But I get what it makes sense. But at some point, if we're going to be solution focused, we got to have some give and take. And it's gonna be some ebbs and flows, and it's gonna be, and that's another thing. Somebody said something about quitting or exiting or always being so quick to, I will agree that, because I used to be that. Like, I ain't got to deal with this. But then I had to grow and mature and be like, you know what? Everything doesn't have to be a fight. Everything doesn't have to be an argument. Everything, I don't have to always be right. Do I want to be happy or do I want to be right? But that takes a level of maturity to get to that space. Like, you don't get there right away. It just don't happen. So I think we have to find some kind of common ground.
That go back to, I don't want no woman unless she been body slammed in the game. You got to be body slammed. You got to go through some turmoil, man. I don't know what it is, but I think sometimes, man, it takes for certain women have some hard head and some soft asses, and man, sometimes you got to be body slammed in this game, and some men got to be body slammed in this game too. They got to be taken up through there. They got to be taken up through there and deal with some of the low of the low before they realize that, damn, this shit he doing ain't even that bad. Because they always got a damn exit strategy. Everybody want to dip. Everybody want to leave. You got to be body slammed in the game, man. There's some women that had some tumultuous shit happen to them in this game. And they understand that some of the slightest of shit is just hey, you like, oh, that's a red flag. You're like, red flag? Bitch, I got 30 red flags right now. And I'm gonna be a red flag until I leave here, because that's the type of nigga I am. I'm gonna be a red flag. But at the end of the day, you're gonna know my pros are gonna weigh my cons. And I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna take care of this motherfucking kingdom. I'm gonna make sure your ass is straight, and I'm gonna make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Because most niggas that they chasing their bag and taking care of their shit, they ain't out here fucking off in no street. They about their household, man. Most men out here is about their shit. They about their business. At the end of the day, they about their motherfucking business. Man, I go out here to get this bag and I bring that shit back to the crib, and this where it's at. I'm about taking care of you and these motherfucking kids. I don't give a fuck what's going on down the street. I don't give a damn what Sally got going, Brenda got going, Deborah got going. I don't give a damn about what Jimmy got going. They don't give a damn. Jimmy crack corn. I'm about to get this bag, bring this shit back to the house. If you're not secure in that shit, you just got the wrong nigga. That nigga ain't, he just the wrong nigga. Cause I'm pretty sure that 1, 2, 3 go get that motherfucking bag and bring that shit back to the hacienda and make sure this shit is straight before anything. I make sure you straight and the goddamn baby straight before any motherfucking thing. Everything else is for the goddamn bird. Ain't nobody on that shit. It just be them type of niggas that all sitting around with the slacks and the goddamn hard bottoms and shit out here. 9 times out of 10, if that type of nigga that you want to talk to, that's sweet as fuck, bringing flowers and dropping shit off and being all romantic, probably got 3, 4 hoes. So at the end of the day, because a real nigga go walk in that door, he ain't gonna be apologetic about shit because he know he doing the right shit. When you doing the right shit, you ain't gotta be all covert and all this bullshit. You can throw that motherfucking phone over there. Don't give a fuck about that phone, man. Motherfucker ringing. I wish a motherfucker would call me when I get back in this house. Motherfucker be on that bullshit. Be like, you got the wrong nigga. 9 times out of 10, motherfuckers go looking for somebody with these, and they need to go looking with a motherfucker with these. That's it. Yep. Pay attention to what a motherfucker say. That's what he buy. What he say, what he buy. D gonna be. I can look at D straight in the but we ain't never sat down and had a one-on-one conversation. I look D right in motherfucker face. I know D ain't about none of that bullshit.
Yeah.
He about none of that bullshit. He ain't gonna go for none of that shit. Man, all that shit you talking about, man, I don't want to hear that sucker ass shit, man. Get the fuck on up out of here. I'm finna go ahead. Hey, bro, you gonna do? Nah. I gotta go pick baby girl gotta go over here. She gotta be over here. And then we get done, we gotta go home, we gotta go eat. We gotta go get the baby back in the bed. They ain't gonna be studying none of that shit. All that the extra shit. I'll be like, damn, what type of niggas is y'all finding? What type of niggas is these women finding? Cause real niggas ain't on that shit.
Me. No. Here go the issue. The worst thing they sold us was they sold to our women, our sisters, that the average black man, not a trash black man, the average black man is the new bum. That's what they sold us. And so the men you talking about, they the average black man. They may not make 100 bands, but they getting their little 65, 70 and they managing it. You feel me? And they being smart with it, investing a little bit over here, paying the bills. Like you said, they bout their business and they trying to build up and become, right? They still working and they still churning. They chopping wood, carrying water, right, Norris? That's what they doing. That's your average black man. But the average black man is no longer attractive. He is not attractive. He is the new bum. I done heard women disrespect UPS drivers. I done heard women disrespect plumbers. I done heard women disrespect. And it's just like these brothers is average men. Plumbers in the door probably getting 80, 90 in the door, right? And then they work up from there. But that's the issue. That's the real issue, is that your regular everyday brother is no longer seen as fit to be a qualified candidate. And then the only ones that are average men that can still, get their pick of the litter, they got to have the physical attributes. Listen, I was just talking to a female friend of mine about this earlier. I said, hey, as a man, if you ask me, would I rather be professionally attractive to a woman or physically attractive to a woman? I'm taking physical all day. Make me physically attractive first, because that's what they go off of. You can get away with anything if she think you fine. Promise you that. Twice. You can get away with anything twice if she think you fine. I promise you that. You ain't even got to be bout you. All that what you saying, be bout you ain't got to be bout nothing. You ain't even got to have a place to stay. If your print hit right in them jeans, she'll let you can stay here. Yeah, that's what she gonna tell you. So we ain't even got to pretend on here tonight. We not finna play though. So check the physical box, fellas, and then go from there. You get you some muscles. You know what I'm saying? Get you a good barber. You feel me? Find your look. Get you a little beard that go with the symmetry of your face. Check that box. Find 2 colognes that work for you. A body butter. I'm just giving y'all some game. Make sure you smell good when you get close. Make sure you leave a trail when you walk off. You cover them boxes. You're gonna be able to play how you want to play out here. That's just the real. And this the game y'all gave to us. We are reactive. I covered this on my live earlier. Men are reactive. If you tell us, hey, we want y'all to make more money, you see the numbers go up. Most men working 60 hours a week on average because women want us to have money. So we reacting, right? If the women say, you know what, you can't have none of this unless you say you love me. That's what my daddy had to go through, right? That generation, you used to have to say, I love you to get some cat. You used to have to tell her you love her. You had to commit. Remember the wood? Remember the woods? Y'all seen the wood? Hey, I love you. He trying to get it. You feel me? Now you ain't got to say nothing. I promise you, I done had some cat in my life. She didn't know my name. She didn't know my name. Gave it to me. You ain't even asked my name. So if it's like that, and then you tell me, oh, there's wives out here, show them to me. Because the game been on easy. If you oversee, I'm 6'2", in shape, handsome. I could do what I want. I just happen to have discipline, but I don't have to. I could change my mind any day and turn into a serial baby daddy. I could be Future tomorrow because y'all made it this way.
I don't think, well, that. Once again, I'm going back to an emotionally mature woman who is looking past physical, and they're out there. And women who look physical is the first thing. That's fine, but the physical is not going to keep you in for the long run. It's not going to keep you in for the long game. But I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but every woman is not like that. Every woman is not. There are women those women that are not getting married, who have those standards, like I'm standing on business until what I'm looking for comes around. And apparently there are a lot of them out there because we're talking about them right now.
But for a lot of y'all, it's too late.
How can you say it's too late because a woman is getting older?
No, I won't say it's because you're getting older. It's because of what Classic just said. Men are now trying to become the ultimate player, not like player, like kind of like they're trying to be player one. Like they're that guy. Like they're telling each other how to build. Women have showed men how to build themselves up. So now a man feels. That's why you get a lot of over feminine men too. Like they are taking on the concept of what the women have taught. You know what I mean? Like he said, keep yourself in shape, keep your facial routine up, get in the right places, have the right career. You have the pick of the litter for the rest of your life. Men will always have the pick of the litter. You see, they have like groups called salt and pepper men. You got 50-year-old men with their beards clean. They walking in the club. It's so much stuff out there. I feel like it's almost too late because of all this battling back and forth between black men and black women. It's becoming too late because the man we got the ultimate finish code now. We ready.
First of all, women are also learning that they are the prize. Women are also learning to love themselves enough to when they do spot BS, when they do spot something that they deem is not okay for them, that they are willing to walk away and that they're willing to be alone for a little bit. So that's kind of twofold. Like men are noticing something, but women are also noticing something on the flip side too. Like, hey, baby girl, you are the prize. So I don't care what they say. I don't care what kind of stuff that they telling you is happening. You are still the prize. And that's how God intended it to be. You are still the prize. And once a woman gets to that level of understanding and they learn to love themselves, maybe that's why they're saying, hey, no, I'm not getting married. And I think the indifference, like I say, I think the indifference is coming from not feeling safe enough to say what they want. It's just like, oh, my mind just went blank. I was thinking about a book. My mind just went blank. But that could be why they're not saying what they really want. You know, I can't speak for everybody, but this is just my thought process, because they don't know if once they put that out in the atmosphere, what is the reaction that they're going to get from that, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I don't know. Women, you are the prize, okay? I don't care what they say. It ain't never too late.
You are his prize. Not the prize.
I ain't never seen a prize that people just checked out on trying to win. I ain't seen it
But
yet.
hey, listen,
We done
black.
checked out. We done
I
checked
don't
out
think
on
they
trying to win the
checked
prize.
out. I don't
Hey,
think
look,
they
real
checked
talk.
out.
Hey, class, let me be real. Hey, Nora, hey, D,
Ladies, come
D,
on, y'all.
D,
Tell us
D,
what you
D,
tell us what you
I
want.
ain't never seen a man leave a good woman.
Oh, somebody just put women go through seasons they don't notice.
What? Man, you
I'm
better.
looking at
You
a
better
comment
find
there.
the fucking season he in and stay there.
Listen, ladies, I need y'all to come on and talk. Yeah, have my back.
What up, Joe Jet?
Say
It's a
something.
female. It's a woman that's normally in my chat. She in here. She's put
Okay.
the popcorn emojis, but she ain't backing you up yet, though.
Oh,
She ain't.
I need you
I know-
to come on.
I
I need you,
knew
girl.
that looked familiar. I knew that looked familiar. I knew that looked familiar. And
Yeah.
she be spitting that
Info
game.
purposes only.
Yeah.
Man,
I need some love. They killing me. Mark is stepping up. Come on.
Nah, I'm telling you, I never seen a prize that started with the word help.
No, I ain't asking. I'm saying I need some more
But you said the word.
because it's 4 against 1.
No, I was just saying. No, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about you said the biblical, right? They call the woman a helpmate.
Okay, so wait, because we love to take scriptures. We love to take scriptures and manifest it to what we trying to talk about in the moment. So let's.
I never seen anything that start with help be something that I must need.
I need you to run that scripture to me. Let me check it out. Okay?
I'm just
I'm gonna call my mama because she good with the Bible. He good.
I think D has something though. D, you had something, right?
Yeah, something I just want to say. I feel like women that are 40 and plus, or on that cusp of 35 and plus, I think they look for marriage. I think they're out there for marriage. If you're younger than that, I'm talking about from our generation. If you're older than that at the current moment, if you're younger than that at the current moment, the goal in life is for money and traveling and all that crap, and not doing it with somebody of a significant other. So I don't believe that they're looking to get married, but I do feel like that our group of women around that 35 and up, I think they are trying to actively look for someone to get married. That was their goal. But I think we got to a point where it's split now, where they're no longer looking for that. And that's where we're currently at. It's just, that's how I feel.
That's a good take on it. That's a good take.
Yeah, they want to get married at the wall. That's the problem. They trying to get married at the wall. The wall is when. Let me define the wall. I'm gonna define it for y'all. See, I like taking these terms and giving real definitions. What he say? A based woman gets it and don't need to realize what it is eventually. Okay. I'll say this. The wall. This is the wall. I'm gonna define the wall. The wall is when the people that you are attracted to and see fit to be qualified for lifelong companionship no longer find you to be attractive in the same way of seriousness. So they may look at you and say, oh, I hit. Or they may look at you and say, oh, I had some conversation. They start passing. That's when you know you at the wall for a male or a female. So if you a man and your ballpark on that 1 to 10 is normally the 8s and the 9s, that's where you play at. And all of a sudden you realize you at a point in your life where only the 5s want you and the ugly friend calling dibs on you, that's when you know you at the wall. You know what I'm saying? So if who you want don't want you, you hit the wall. Some people hit the wall at birth. You know what I mean? But a lot of people hit the wall at 40. So, you know what I mean?
All right, man. So just to respect everybody's time, we got 7 minutes left. So is there any closing remarks, anything y'all want to let the world know about any of these topics that you feel like you haven't had a chance to say? This is
I
your
had
time.
a good time. No, hey, bro, I had a good time, bro. It was like
I hate I missed the earlier conversation. Ladies, I need y'all to chime in. Come on.
Yeah, I got something to say. There's still the one idiot that I'm waiting to talk to for a long time. Y'all know who he is. I went off on him once on the same channel. And if I ever get the chance to speak with him, I promise you, I'm probably gonna say some real crappy things. That dude is probably the aptitude of being an idiot for Black people.
Ooh.
You can't live the way he lives by saying, I constantly want the best for our black people, and yet you shit on your black children. If I ever get that chance, if he ever gets to see this, please let him know I'm willing to come to his show. He willing to come to ours, because I would love to talk to that dude about some of the idiotic shit that he says, and with the capacity for him to be a black father who's full of shit. Okay. Yeah, I saw another post about him, but we'll get to that another time. But
You got anything, Lissa? Anything for the women who didn't want to say anything for you?
Ladies, I'm going to tell you this. Love yourself. Have some standards. Don't worry about the rest of it. And God is going to send you if that's what you want. And if you don't want it, that's okay too.
Okay.
As for me, I do want to get married. I will get married. And I ain't hitting a wall. And it ain't too late.
What about you, Plug? Plug, you got anything?
Hey. This shit is
I can only speak for Alyssa So Savvy. That's all I can do.
so savage. Yeah. I want to say I want Umar ass on here. So him and D, I want to be present and accounted for when he bring his ass on his platform. For real. Because he got to come defend himself. Deep in at his neck. I'm just letting you know. You know, I like Umar. You know what I'm saying? I don't know all the facts on him and his churn, but I like Umar. You know, I like the Pan-African. I like the Pan-African prince. You know what I'm saying? That you know what I'm saying? But D at his neck. He got to come on here. He got to say what he got to say. You know what I'm saying? But hey, all in all, little mama, the average man is that nigga. Y'all putting him down here, y'all better lift him up. I'm telling you.
I agree.
That's the one that gonna be
I agree with you on that. I'm not.
I'm saying I'm trying to tell you, boy, some ones out here that's gonna love you right, that's gonna be in your corner, that's gonna be there, that's gonna bring that bag to the house and gonna take care of you. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Keep your head in the game and not in your damn phone. I'm trying to tell you that shit'll lead you wrong all day.
All right, and the classic, man. Want to first, before you close remarks, want to say appreciate you, man, for coming up, taking your time out. We're gonna have to have you come back up again for sure. And I got to get on yours soon. We got to do something in the afternoon, man.
Oh, and I'm checking you out, Classic, because you
Yeah.
have all the things to say. I'm gonna start commenting. I have to start commenting more. I get in my head like, they don't really want to hear more.
Oh,
I reply to,
he
yeah.
fun.
I reply to everybody. Yeah, I reply to everybody. Yeah, I'm on it. Definitely. Yeah, but
I checked you out, bro. You got a nice channel, bro. I like your channel, bro.
Hey, I appreciate y'all for sure. Thank you for having me, and I had a great time. Alyssa, special thanks to you for giving me a woman's POV, because I genuinely was stumped. Like, I think that's the one question of the day that I really couldn't answer, was the average black woman's American dream. And I think that the fact that we still can't really gather a consensus, and you as a black woman can't gather one for yourself, even knowing all the black women that you know, I think that's tough, right? Because if you ask the average black man what his American dream is and does it involve a wife, the answer is yes. It's a simple yes. The majority of us. You might have some black men that's like, I'm gonna do, but they're the minority. And not only are they the minority, they would be frowned upon in a group of men that are worth talking about. We would shame that man. You know what I mean? So
damn, Skippy.
I don't know. I just think we gotta, like you said, being resolution based, we definitely got to get to a space where we figure out the why on that and then fix it. Because that's kind of crazy. That simply points out to me that we have been successfully devalued in the eyes of our women. When they're indifferent about us, we've been successfully devalued.
I can agree with that. And you know what? I don't have a big following or anything like that, but I do want to pose that question coming from a woman's perspective and see what they say. See if we can get a definite answer. Like I said, I can speak for me. Yes, Alyssa wants to get married, but 100%, I don't feel comfortable saying that for every black woman.
Yeah. And like I said, appreciate everybody, all you guys, for coming in tonight. And, I'm gonna tell you guys my thoughts as I end every show.
Oh, here we go.
If you get tired of stepping on that hot black tar, cool your feet down in some snow. I'll holler at you.
Bring your ass, Umar.